For the semifinals, the first champion will be banned is Zed. This is something that Joe Buggy pulled out yesterday in a pivotal game 3. The Zed came in clutch, got a bunch of solo kills. The next ban coming out from Los Riddlers is the Ornn. This is a pick that Snow TPW played in their round 2 match. An extremely dominant laning performance from Snow's Ornn. The Vlad ban, also another target ban played by Los Riddlers yesterday. The Vlad absolutely popped off. Next, Los Riddlers going to ban the Caitlyn. Now, I believe the Goon Squad has not touched the Caitlyn this tournament. We saw that the Caitlyn had extremely high prio early on in the tournament. There were a bunch of teams who picked it in round 1. Prio has pretty much completely fallen off from round 2 onwards, though. Not sure if either team had this Caitlyn planned. And the Volibear ban coming in next. This one not necessarily a target. Volibear just been an extremely strong champion this tournament. It seems like a lot of those top lane bruisers have been popping up. And the final ban will be the Aphelios, an interesting ban. I don't believe we've seen any Aphelios this tournament, neither picked nor banned, so interested to see. Maybe they've done some scouting, maybe the Goon Squad has an Aphelios player. But let's see what this first pick is going to be. And they're going to go back to the Cassante. This is a pick that the Goon Squad has played twice now, a pick that they found very reliable. Going to be responded with the Ziggs, the 3 he's and a ha classic. He's either picked it or had it banned from him in every single match that they've played. Ziggs very strong this tournament, has the satchel charge to break down those turrets, speed up the pace of the game. In a format where you only need to take 3 turrets in order to expose that open inhibitor. Very strong. Next we're going to get the Vayne. We've had a few teams talk about the Vayne. Nobody has necessarily picked it yet, but we have seen teams theorycrafting that Vayne could be extremely strong this tournament because, of course, Vayne very oppressive against most top lane champions, and her one weakness, getting ganked, not necessarily a factor when there are no junglers. But the response coming in, it will be the Akali. So 2 squishy champions picked up for Los Riddlers. The Goon Squad looking to punish with a backline assassin. We'll have to see what their last pick is going to be here. They will grab the Nasus. This is another pick that the Goon Squad has played in the past. In their initial round 2 game, they played Cassante, Nasus, and Ornn with triple demolish and just bulldozed the game open. This time, of course, the Ornn banned, grabbing the Akali, but still, Cassante, Nasus, the original game plan alive. In that round 2 game, they managed to find a Nasus front door. When the enemy team committed too hard for a mid push, the Nasus was able to end the game on a side lane. So we'll see if the Goon Squad can get it to happen again. On the flip side, Los Riddlers will be finishing out their draft with the Tahm Kench, a champion who can maybe protect the Vayne and the Ziggs when the Akali dives in. Looks like it's going to be an answer to the Akali. So looking at these 2 teams, I think you have to favor the lane matchups for Los Riddlers just a little bit. You know, they have the double range champions, so whoever those 2 end up into, they will be happy. Tahm Kench also pretty good against the 3 champions that the Goon Squad has assembled. So really it seems like this will be a battle of how many stacks can Nasus get, how much work can Akali do on the back line, because if they can get to that point, then this could become a very dangerous game for Los Riddlers very quickly. Alright, I'm going to put in the prediction. The Goon Squad on blue side and Los Riddlers on red side. Prediction has been started. People have 2 minutes to bet those channel points. Let's see, so far predictions are dry, 0-0. Predictions have been quite dry for the back half of this tournament. Seems like a lot of people a little bit too scared to wager their channel points on these higher stakes games. Either that or they spent all of their channel points earlier in the tournament and got all their guesses wrong and are now out. Alright, we should be hopping into the game in about 15 seconds here. Looks like the prediction went completely cold. Nobody wanting to bet for anything. We'll be able to take our first look at some of the potential runes that people will be using. We can also take a look at skins. I see Heartsteel Cassante, KDA Akali, and Default Nasus. Master Chef Tahm Kench, Arclight Vayne, Battle Boss Ziggs. You know, I gotta say, Master Chef Tahm Kench and Arclight Vayne, not the greatest skins for those champions in my opinion. I'm gonna have to give the skin battle to the Goon squad, even though they have that Default Nasus. Looking at these setups, it looks like we have 5 teleports in the game. Joe Buggy opting for the Flash Cleanse, maybe looking to cleanse the Wither Slow. Nasus going for the Ghost instead of the Flash. Gonna just look to run people down the old-fashioned way. In terms of the runes, we have the Cassante opting for Shield Bash over the Demolish. The Akali going Second Wind Overgrowth. And the Nasus not taking green runes at all. On the flip side, we have Los Riddlers, no green runes on Ziggs. Conditioning Overgrowth on the Vayne. And Shield Bash on the Tahm Kench. Alright, so we have 0 Demolishes in this lobby. Lots of green runes, no Demolish. Seems like as the tournament has gone on, people have started to favor those laning runes over the turret-taking runes. Definitely interesting, as we saw multiple teams have a lot of success with the triple demolish, but it seems like as those teams were filtered out, the teams remaining just don't seem to care that much anymore. Looks like our matchups will be Ziggs versus Cassante in the bot lane, Akali versus Tahm Kench in the mid lane, and Vayne versus Nasus in the top lane. I think neither team is too thrilled about this. If you're Snow TBW, if you're the Akali, you probably did not want to see the Kench as your opponent. Same thing likewise, if you are Joe Buggy on the Vayne, you would have wanted to see the Cassante and not the Nasus. So we may be seeing some swaps, but at the same time, none of these matchups are unplayable, so we'll see. Can Vayne set the Nasus far enough behind early game before the Nasus gets a couple of points in that Wither to start running her down? And can the Kench hold on until level 6? Because Akali has a lot of strong poke in the early game. Can maybe find an advantage. But then, of course, if Tahm Kench gets at level 6, it's going to be extremely scary for the Akali to manage. Also, notably, both teams tend to have the philosophy that objectives are not worth it. Neither team likes to make moves for any of the objectives, so we'll have to see if any grubs go down. And yeah, you can see already the Nasus opting for the Comet Doran's Ring, perhaps knew that they would be against the Vayne, so the E-Poke already chunking the Vayne down a lot. Vayne might have to reset soon. K'Sante and Akali going for the lane swap. K'Sante going to go mid and match up against that Tahm Kench, whereas the Akali will find herself against the Ziggs now. Much more preferable matchups for the Goon squad, and it seems like they found themselves 3 favorable lanes. Vayne already having to reset. At least channeled the reset and canceled it. Nasus 2 points in the E. Can he get the kill here? Ooh, but the level up from Vayne lands to condemn. Shouldn't be anything here. And one more E. This Vayne is flirting with death. But the big issue, of course, is that she has no teleport. Went for the cleanse, so if she has to reset, she'll have to drop a wave to do it. And Ziggs in the bot lane, low on mana. Lanes across the board struggling for Los Riddlers. Tahm Kench also low on mana. Looks like Nasus will take the first reset. This is where we get to find out, is the Nasus going AP or is the Nasus going standard? Looks like the Nasus will be going AP with the Faded Ashes Rush, and now TPing bot to match the Vayne. Akali gonna go top and find the Ziggs again, so good lane swaps coming out from the Goon squad, remaining in those favorable lane states. Vayne, of course, seeing the Nasus, will immediately move mid as the Tahm Kench TP's bot. We'll see if the Goon squad has a response to this swap or if they'll be content to lane as is. Vayne finally finding the matchup that she wanted, the K'Sante, the best matchup for her. Ultimate coming out for the Tahm Kench, gonna go for the all-in. The Nasus just ticked level 6, so probably should be fine here. We'll see. Yep, gonna have to pop the ultimate just to survive. And the AP Nasus may be threatening against the squishy champions, but doesn't have anywhere near the impact against a tanky Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench gonna go in, lands the slow from the Tongue Lash. Hits the W, but the Wither coming out, stopping the Kench from getting that last auto attack, so will not be able to find the stun. Nasus low, though, with no ultimate. Will Tahm Kench look to dive? Of course, Nasus going that AP build. The lifesteal passive not as effective. Yeah, we can see Nasus already struggling. May have to reset. Akali going for the all-in, has the ult. Level 6 drops it. No lethal just yet, but will force the flash out of the Ziggs. Ziggs firing back with the ultimate on the disengage. Akali is super low. Still has the flash though, whereas Ziggs had to burn it. We're going to see again an attempted swap from the Goon squad, but Los Riddlers predicting the swap, sending Vayne bot to match the K'Sante, and the Nasus will be running mid to see the Tahm Kench once again. Looks like the Nasus ultimate and the Tahm Kench ultimate's cooldowns coming down at about the same time, so we won't be able to see any cheeky ultimate plays. Nasus on the wrong side of the map. Wither dropped, but going to get gobbled up and spat under the turret. Is this going to be a kill for the Tahm Kench? Passive stacked. Can he weave it through the minions? Has the flash. Flash Q gets the stun. One more auto attack and first blood goes to Los Riddlers. Nasus almost getting out with the Ghost Wither combo, but just barely couldn't do it. Not respecting the Tahm Kench ultimate and the ability for him to just spit him into the turret. In the other lanes, not much happening as of yet, but a reminder that the Akali has flash ult and the Ziggs has no flash, so if the Ziggs oversteps, especially with this low mana bar, he could find himself in trouble. Akali could go for a little freeze here, force Ziggs into a bad reset. Ziggs probably wants to wait for that teleport to come back up, but for these next two waves, he'll be bleeding. Let's see, you can see the Akali really wants to go for that flash ult. Drops the ward on Ziggs' head just to get more information on whether the Ziggs may be resetting or not. And Ziggs gonna walk into the tri-bush, wards the Void Grubs. Looks like he will stick around, but of course the question is this wave frozen? And it looks like it is, as long as the Akali doesn't cue the wave. Ziggs is gonna have to figure out what to do here. The teleport almost up, could just wait 10 seconds for the teleport. But we'll see, does Akali pull the trigger on the flash ult? There's the flash, there's the ult, E connects. Ziggs W consumed, E consumed, nothing left. Akali will get the solo kill. Meanwhile, the bot side, we have an all-in Epidemics popping the K'Sante ult. Cannot seem to get the best of this Tahm Kench though. Kench misses the tongue lash, has no stun, but similarly, the K'Sante missing out on multiple W's. Gonna have to flash out. Tahm Kench going for the dive and does not find the last Q. Will get killed by Epidemics under the tower. A little bit too aggressive. And of course, once again, the Vayne finds herself stuck into this AP Nasus. Already low health, low mana, going to have to base. Which means this Nasus will get some alone time on the turret. Let's see how much work he can get done. Has the ultimate. Can pop the ult for the extra turret plates if he wants to, but instead, moving bot, predicting the swap, going to out-predict Los Riddlers here, and on the top side, Ziggs going to die again to the Akali. Ziggs really having a tough time here, and with the Nasus giving Vayne the bad news now that he's shown on the turret, it looks like we have 3 unfavorable matchups for Los Riddlers yet again. They need to figure out something in this lane phase or they're just going to lose. Well, you know I say that, but again, the Goon squad, the slowest team in the tournament so far. Popping the cleanse against the Wither. Going to go for the all-in against the Nasus, and it looks like it will work. So, Vayne perhaps surprising the Nasus, being able to cancel that Wither. Let's see if Tahm Kench can find the kill on the Akali. Lands the Tongue Lash, lands the knockup, will get the kill and the shutdown. So right as I speak, Los Riddlers, huge swing of momentum, also able to get the Ziggs into the K'Sante for now. I would not be surprised if the Akali runs mid out of base. As the K'Sante, right as I say, that does start to walk top, but even though the Goon squad able to keep up with these swats well, able to rotate around the map well, Los Riddlers been doing a good job at hanging on, being able to find the outplays here and there. This could turn into something. These two players seem to be committing pretty hard to this. K'Sante ult dropped. Same thing with the Kench ult, but randomly Qs, even though the K'Sante wasn't there. Going to have to W out. Yeah, big misplay coming out from Big Fat Turkey. Maybe could have committed for more if he didn't just cue the air. But no teleport, no flash, and the wave in a bad spot. Gonna have to stay. Cassante at this point, not much threat of lethal with no more ultimate. And Joe Buggy stuck into the Nasus once again. Will struggle until that cleanse comes back up. Tom Kench able to heal up with multiple tongue lashes, actually fully committing. We'll see, has 3 stacks, lands the stun, will not go for more. But Tom Kench getting all of the healing from the Q has swung the lane back into his favor. It's one of the dangers of Cassante. As soon as you commit that ultimate, you pretty much have no damage left over. Ooh, Snow TBW going for the dive, lands the E, gets the execution through the condemn. So Nasus gonna die to the turret. Wow, tried to walk back to the turret but did not respect the turret's ramping damage. So Nasus will not have a threat onto that bot turret. Meanwhile, Ziggs able to get a sizable portion of the mid lane turret down. That turret is down to half health, and Ziggs with the Satchel Charge execute. If he gets any more alone time on that turret, it's gonna die. Ziggs feeling a little bit more comfortable in the lane now that the Akali has blown the ultimate. Akali going to be able to push in the wave and reset. But again, of course, the big question, now that Akali's gone, can the Ziggs take down the mid turret for that first turret gold? Or, well, I guess first turret doesn't really give gold anymore, but for the first turret portion of the Feat of Strength. Let's see, Akali might be too slow here. Did base on a cannon wave, and Ziggs low on mana, so maybe Ziggs can't take this turret. It's going to be close. And chooses not to go for it. Likely could have gotten the turret, but would have died for it. And on the top side, a Big Fat Turkey will get another solo kill onto the Cassante. Joe Buggy has the cleanse up and available again, going to be feeling pretty fine into the Nasus matchup. Has the Blade of the Ruined King completed, although Nasus E-Poke was strong early. Now that the Vayne has some lifesteal under her belt, not going to be as big of a problem now. And as Nasus gets closer to the enemy side of the map, will Vayne pull the trigger? Has the ultimate, has the flash, has the cleanse. Could go for the all-in, we'll see. "16 minutes into the game, and no turrets have been taken, so once again, the Goon squad managing to stall out this game. Tom Kench fully committing onto the Cassante. Cassante does have the ultimate. Tom Kench has ult in about maybe 10 seconds, lands the stun, could go for more, gonna choose to back off this time. Nice the Q. We could see a full commit here. Lands the W. Will Cassante press the R? Gets the Kench under the turret. Good start to the fight for the Cassante, but does he have the juice to get the kill? Misses the Q3. Stun will land for the Kench. Gets the ultimate. Will he have the throws the Q again! Makes the exact same mistake, but the Cassante overcommits, doesn't have the ultimate. Ult wears out, so does not have the sustain. And will go down to the Tom Kench. Kench now 4-1, very scary. Going to be going to threaten this top tier 1 Will this be the first turret taken of the game? And I think so. No TPs coming through for the Nasus or the Akali, so first turret going over to Los Riddlers, and because they also got the first blood, they now have the feats of strength. We'll see if they can snowball this into a game 1 win. Flash ult coming from the Akali, but she E's a minion. Does she have the damage? Flash coming out from the Ziggs to try and survive. The Tahm Kench is here, not going to have to eat to save the Ziggs, but will be fully committing onto the Akali for the solo kill. Lands the stun, lands the auto attacks. When is the Q coming back? And he will not go for the dive, so Akali going to get away with it. Akali also 4-1, so the scoreline 5-5. Gold basically even. Both teams have one person who is extremely fed. Tahm Kench, though, going to be able to collect on this mid turret, even though the TP comes out. Turret going to go down anyway. Tahm Kench committing for more, lands the Q, lands the tongue lash, has the ultimate this time. Going to spit her out away from the shroud, lands the Q for the stun. When is that next Q coming up? Misses the stun, misses the W, and that will be the end of the play. Meanwhile, K'Sante, through Tahm Kench coming onto the mid lane, will be able to take the top turret. So a trade of turrets across the map. But Tahm Kench starting to put in some work against this tier 2. It appears he's doing quite a lot of damage to it, especially for a tank with no demolish. The passive damage on Tahm Kench doing quite a lot. Going to be able to pick up the entire mid tier 2. That is a huge pickup, and will get out against the K'Sante who roamed mid. Let's see, Tahm Kench could make a move for the bot side here, and the Vayne going to pop the cleanse, pops the ultimate, gonna try to fully commit for this. Nasus flashing forward, gets the kill, will not die to the ramping turret. Well played from the Vayne. And once again, this Nasus struggling whenever the Vayne has to cleanse. Akali going for the full commit onto the Ziggs once again. Gonna land the E, and that is a dead Ziggs. That is a 5-1 Akali. We'll have to see, though. Los Riddlers definitely getting the better of the Goon squad in terms of turret taking around the map. We'll have to see if the Akali can carry. K'Sante slowly trying to chip down this mid turret, will not have the damage to do it. Nasus going to use the TP bot. He may be thinking he can make an aggressive play on the bot turret, but Ziggs also with the teleport. And Ziggs will respond with the teleport bot, so just a bit of a teleport trade for the two teams. Nothing going to happen there. This Tahm Kench is strong. Hollow Radiance, Unending Despair, and those two Amp Tomes likely building into a Rift Maker. Once Tahm Kench finishes that, I doubt there's anybody on the Goon squad who will be able to kill him. Vayne starting up this Rift Herald. Kench going to help. Of course, will be much harder for the Akali to assassinate the Vayne if the Kench has the ultimate to protect her. Will eat the Vayne, so the Akali's E does not land. Vayne has that big shield. Pops the ultimate, gets the condemned stun. Akali will try to escape. Ult lands, and the Vayne will go down to the true damage from the Kench, from the K'Sante W. Can the Kench clean this up? Has a lot of sustain, has a lot of items, has that big shield. Will get CC'd by the Kench, needing to flash out, W out. They do not win the 2v2, so the Herald will not go down. Now the question is, will the Goon squad be the ones to start up the Herald? 2 members on it, this is going to go down fast. Doesn't look like they want to give it up. Kench TPing mid. Does he know that they're on it? Is he going to run straight for it? Looks like he is. He's going to get the bad news. Or could he get the steal? The eye not going to open. Who's gonna get it? The Kench stole it! The Kench stole it with Q! We'll have the Rift Herald. That mid tier 3 is exposed. The Cassante has no mana, is going to drop to the Kench here. Kench lands the Tongue Lash, lands the W, gets the knockup. Can he hit the Blast Cone? No, he misses the Blast Cone, but Akali fucks up the Blast Cone. Kenshi get out. Wow, barely ease over. Kench Tongue Lash missing. But with the Cassante dead, Kench and Vayne in the mid lane, they're gonna go for the end. Zig's going to cancel Nasus's base. It's Akali versus these two, but Akali has no health. She's going to have to go back to base, regen TP onto the mid turret, and see if she can protect the inhibitor. I think this might be it. I think this might be game 1. Yes, Herald going to get another crash into this inhibitor, and this will be the end of the game. 23 minutes. Los Riddlers taking game 1.